Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever, joining you once again from the Alps as I do a tremendous swoop past here of one of the ships on my rather magnificent but currently malfunctioning tools, plank, wood, lumber line that we set up in the last episode. Now, there were some enthusiastic and informed comments in the video last time round vis-a-vis why this line would not work. So I wanted to address a couple of those first to prove, firstly, that I'm not a complete idiot, but secondly, that maybe I'm a complete idiot. So first off, it was suggested that in trying to get this bit of road connected here, I'd actually moved the road in a way that meant that the dock was no longer connected to the tool setup plant dealio. Not true, still works. Everything here is still operational. Good observation, but it's definitely still working. Definitely still got a connection right there. But at present, we're trying to wait for the line. So there's a line ready to rock with this, but we currently don't have any materials coming in. As you can see, here's the lumber plank tool service coming into Interlaken branch right now, and it's carrying nothing at all. So as we move up to the next section of this particular mission is over here in Thun, and as you can see, nothing waiting. Plenty of fuel. Oh yeah, fuel. No, not a problem at all there. But that's not it either. And then we work our way round here to Locarno, where our sawmill is, and you'll see that the sawmill happy to use the line, more than happy, in fact. But there's nothing waiting. So if we head all the way back to the start of this particular goods chain, to this lumber mill, right here, what we'll see is it's not using the line, and that's interesting. It's you know, a minor disturbance is the problem we've got here. So the lumber line in question goes from Locarno North all the way down to where are we here? Thun Exchange. Now, Thun Exchange is a fair shake away from the port, which is where I want the stuff to go, but it's in range, or is it? It certainly seems to be. If you can make out this very pale line here, it certainly looks like it's in range. Or is it? That's the thing. Maybe I need to set up just one more stop here, and that will kick the whole thing into life. There was one more observation which I'll come to in a second to disprove the doubters amongst you. But before doing that, we want to make sure that our port here is in range. Now, it looks to me like the catchment here is actually zipping straight across the station, so the only thing I can do to get it any closer would be to have another drop-off here. And that is definitely in range of the port. So we'll do that. We'll spend the money because, you know, I want to rule everything out before we look for alternate suggestions. Right now, let's add a new route to there. Get rid of the exchange. Do we want to get rid of the exchange? No, but I think what we will do is we'll put the exchange in afterwards for reasons that will become clearer. Those reasons being no, maybe, possibly, we'll see. I'm going to do it anyway, right? Having an extra stop off that is more or less on the way anyway, it's completely counterintuitive, but I think it might help actually distribute the finished product out into town. And as you can see, and here is one area where I did goof a little bit. Tools, I thought, industry. No, not so. No, tools, not industry. Tools are, in fact, commercial. I've not bothered working with tools before. I've always gone route one, so I've always gone with, you know, construction materials, fuel, that kind of stuff, food, you know. But you know, tools are a new enterprise. So there you go. I got that wrong. But as it turns out, doesn't actually matter. While this truck stop here is right in the centre of the industrial area, it also has a decent amount of commercial catchment going on as well. So it will work. It won't, maybe not to maximum efficiency, but it will certainly work, and it will activate the line. And the same is true over here in Locarno, where we've got a, where are we? Here we go. So here's our little drop off. But as you can see, plenty of blue in this catchment area, and there's also plenty of room for it to grow as well. So that's not going to be the issue. The other thing that could be the issue is that it may actually be faster for trucks to drive. And no, let me retrack on that one. It will be faster to drive using the trucks from here straight down to the docks and the lumber mill here than it is to take the wood this way, put it on a ship, come that way, get over. And that's never going to work. Or rather, it's not the most efficient route. So I'm pondering whether the issue that I'm having is that I'm not taking the most effective route. I don't have enough money to pay the loan down again. And yeah, so I'm going to give it, where are we now? End of August. I'm going to give it until the start of October. And if there's no signs of life, I'm going to change this route up. So stick around. I'll see you in October. Well, here we are. It's October the 5th, and looks to me like production's happening with line usage. And it looks to me like we've got logs waiting at the haulage area. Any of you who had any doubts at all, thank you very much. I've been Colonel Failure. Anyway, no, it's not the most efficient route, but I'm not in this for the most efficient route. I'm in this for a fun route. And that's well, one way or another, that's definitely what we've built. It's convoluted to say the least, but the running costs should easily be supported by the sheer distances that I've got stuff being moved around, because obviously the distance to speed ratio is what generates profit, and the fact that this is coming quite a long way down here, which will make cash, and then being shipped down there makes more cash. So this is all going to pay off, providing I keep my ships full, providing we keep the goods moving around. So it'll be interesting to see how that one develops. And it's going to take a little while before it does. But in the meantime, while I've been waiting, you will see that last year we made 1.7 million in profit, which is actually pretty good. Rarely have I been making that kind of, or have I? I don't know. I'd have to go and look. But making 1.7 in profit, that's profit clear right there. And in fact, it's even more than that. I bought £500,000 worth of vehicles, and I did another £250,000 worth of development. So add another £750,000, well, let's say 600 grand onto the top of that. So it's over 2 million we made last year. We're on 156 this year with 300 grand's worth of vehicles, so 400 grand in expenditure. So we're easily, well, right now it looks like we're easily going to beat last year's total. And that's all good. And so I have diligently been paying the loan down, because I know that you all like nothing better than me, taking out a loan at a rate of knots. And on to today's project. Right, today's project. It was one of the comments that actually I was completely on the fence about, was that the tools factory down here, well then it's miles away, isn't it? Now, while it will generate tools based off planks alone, as you can see, it will generate them. It will also generate these chaps here, these machines, if I deliver some steel. Or maybe it will decide to pick one or the other. I've actually no idea, and it doesn't make any difference. As has been identified already, all of my truck routes take into account both commercial and industrial. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. So I've no idea what will happen if I start to deliver steel into the mix there as well. Would you like to find out? So would I. And that's what we're going to do. So we've got iron ore here, right? Okay, so iron ore on this route that goes to this handy port. I love a handy port. And then down outside Bern, we've got this smeltery going on. And as I'm sure you can see, because it's just glaring at you, we've got coal right up here at the at the top of a mountain. Well, that's going to be difficult to get hold of. We're going to need trucks with plenty of torque to get up there, but it can be done. I mean, it's a bit of a trek. There we go. Let's just see. Look at that. You can see it. There's the route. We've got a road already plumbed in, but we're going to have to swing it around this way and head for that bridge before whizzling it through Burn out to the steel mill here. And then we get the easy bit. We just run the steel straight out to Locarno, where it can board the same ships that are heading their way out to the tools factory. Now, all this will pay off. As much as, sometimes it might not take lumber, sometimes it might not take steel, and therefore it could be woefully inefficient. If I put enough ships on there, we should be able to distribute everything. The only thing I'm going to have to keep an eye on is the tail end of demand and make sure that we're selling it through. Because if that dries up, we won't be selling anything to anybody from anywhere. So I'm just going to have a quick skirt around and see if there's any. I mean, we've got some more iron up here, which we could come in down the mountain with it. But to be honest, that feels quite. No, it doesn't feel anything. It's a very long way. The other benefit we get from using this, of course, is that we'll generate slag. Probably generate some slag, which could be sent out here in order to make construction materials. This whole area is going to be an industrial flaming powerhouse by the time it's done. The only real challenge coming out of that is actually distributing the stuff after it's been made. But one step at a time. We've got a few cities that will benefit from this stuff. So let's see where we get to. Now, the easiest part of this route, I think I'm committing to it. I would love to do it by train. I'd love to do it by train. Let's have a look and see how much of a pain it's going to be to. Firstly, let's measure up for a station, even if we don't use it. That's way too small a station. We're going to need a 24 here at least. Now, obviously, I don't have the cash. Right, what's going on here then? That's not exactly what I was expecting to see, if I'm completely honest. Oh no, it's because you've told it you need quite a lot of tracks. I don't need that many tracks. No. There you go. That's the problem with incredibly excitable mods is they'll make your life tricky. So with a judicious application of road, we could connect around there. Okay, 150, 140 grand for a station. Perfectly acceptable if we used a terminal here. Are you talking? You're not talking because the road's not actually connected. All right, but let's say it was, and actually that's going to cost me a small flipping fortune. Why are you so expensive when your brethren was not? No matter. Let's say we made that work. Now, we would need to then be coming down the mountain. And as you can see, that involves, well, hold on, if we snap to something like that, 358 million. That's not it's not the cheapest bridge I've ever seen. I mean, that would be setting a new record in terms of expensive bridges I have created. So we'd need to do some kind of contour hugging. I know you contour purists. Some form of contour hugging, wiggle it down the mountain, and to be honest, that's really quite exciting. So if, we start here, wiggle it round, so we continually S-bend it round the mountain, and then escort it across the river. That is where we want to get to. That building project is going to be 20 million without breaking a sweat. Plus, we're going to need a loco of some description that can actually get the job done. So, not yet. We're going to stick with trucks for the time being, and I'm going to need enough of them to keep the journey time minimal. There we are. I've put a little bypass there, which seemed to make the original road remember what it was supposed to be doing. No matter, it's got the job done. So here we go, truck station. Truck station, talk to the mine if you would be so kind. Thank you. How far out can we go? Actually, by this point, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, so we might as well just go wherever it feels like. And then we shall run a, well, I suppose, what are we talking? We ought to try for a large country road, even though it's going to be hellishly expensive. And then in a contour fashion, now I've switched it on, we'll see where we get to. We're going to wiggle our way down the mountain. Now we want to go in as direct a route as possible. That's expense for the sake of expense, right? We can, I mean, what are we talking here? 59 versus 29. Let's go with slow roads to start with, not least of all, because coming up the mountain, it's not like anything's going to be, charging its way up there in the first place. Right, let's go as far as there. A minor transition into the next band. And if we do one band at a time, that should keep the costs down somewhat. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, see, we go down too many, it starts getting a bit silly. It also allows us to keep it a little flatter than it might otherwise have been. There we are, we're not even having to wiggle. This is good. We'll have to wiggle at the end as we merge onto the steady. Try and keep it as flat as possible. Now this is clearly going to be a route that is absolutely ripe for a hefty dose of tree gun, and if it starts working quite quickly, I'll be in just the kind of mood to do that. Right, we're definitely going to have to put a switch back in here. This is a very expensive road construction we've got going on here. Right, so if we pull it back like that, and then we can wend our merry way down a little further. Do we? There we are. Just don't go too crazy. All right. Now this is all looking horrible. But this is the steepest part of the hill, so we're going to have to make some minor retrograde manoeuvres. Can we get down any more than that? Make it out of stone. There's a good lad. In order to get us down to the bottom without it costing an arm and a leg. There we go. And at some point, Michael Caine will be driving through a tunnel here, and an Italian man will say, "Is this your car? Pretty car." So it's an Italian job reference. Just cause. We don't talk about the one starring Marky Mark and his funky bunch. I don't care how funky your bunch is. Michael Caine did it better. Right, keep going. So this is laborious, isn't it? Shall I take the money out now? Oh, we're about to hit the end of the year, so I won't pay. I won't take my loan out just yet. We'll wait till past the end of the year, because even $7,500 at this point is going to make a bit of a difference. Oh, and a new vehicle. It's the Klondike is now available. Excellent. We'll see if there is somewhere I can put that into service. Right, I'm going to max out my loan. Right, we have a current budget of £3.5 million for this epic adventure. Now, that means I've got probably enough funding for one train, and that's if I keep it cheap. Although if I keep building roads like this, that is not keeping it cheap. I would advocate, if you were doing this at home there, children, that you take your time over it. Not like I'm doing. Come on, get down. Get all the way down. Yeah, we're going to have to make it steep here and there, but we want to get down in good shape. There we go. That's it. That's you crossing the plane. Actually, make it. Let's ease that in so we keep the speed up a bit. There we are. Final 40 grand. Okay, right. Well, that's quite an exotic bit of route there. Possibly could have done it better by swooping, a little bit lower, or maybe just doing, manic zigzagging down here. I don't know. Either way, there was probably a cheaper and faster way of doing that, but I didn't do it. So we'll just press on as though I did that in expert fashion. Right, truck stop. So coal is going to be our first delivery. I'm going to get that rolling immediately so that it starts working, even if nothing else is. So burn north, and for some reason that doesn't want to paint the entire road, and then we'll go up to Bellinzona West. Why are you? What? What are you? Why are you taking this incredibly? Where's the? What have I done here? Let's try that again, shall we? Right, burn north, Bellinzona West. Why are you doing that? Well, that's plain weird. It's probably because it's a very similar colour, you idiot. There we go. Right, it's not doing anything. It's doing exactly what you wanted it to do. There we go. Right. You better get going, I suppose. So BLZ, which is probably not what I abbreviated Bellinzona to, Coal Mountain. That'll do the job. Right, let's bang a depot on here. All right, buy road vehicles. I think we're going to need a few of them. What's the speediest thing we've got? 16 miles per hour for this lorry. The Cannstatt does 16 as well. It's the same price to run. What's the power difference? Well, the power on the Cannstatt is significantly larger. This rather magnificent Daimler. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Because that's the only difference between the two, is that it looks to me like the steam lorry's got a 1 missing from its power, because they're exactly the same price. Right, let's buy that many, however many that is. BLZ Coal Mountain, go team. Right, let's have a look and see what the run time on that is. Yep, we're on the right thing here. BLZ Coal Mountain, 5 minutes, even with all those chaps on there. That should be fine. I mean, it should make the turnaround bearable, I suppose. Right, you turn it around. No, not change line. That's not what I meant to do. Turn it around. You turn it around. You turn it around. There we go. Now, you might go, why are you turning them around? Well, I'm spacing them out a little bit, for starters. But secondly, this should mean that we ping both ends of the line and set it in motion quicker. While it will, I mean, you know, it'll start working eventually. The sooner I get it working, the quicker I'm not paying running costs with no return. Right, now, here's the slightly easier customer for this particular mission. We'll actually do this by train. No, that's a terrible idea. Oh, okay. I mean, disagreeing with yourself there already, man. What's your show you're working? Well, my working is really quite straightforward, old boy. This train is going to haul ore all day long, and at some point it's going to stop hauling ore because there's going to be so much ore here that nobody's going to be interested. Yes. So, the coal can't. If I'm shipping coal by truck, there's no possible way I can hope to keep up unless I stick 150 trucks on there. And then we're waiting until the ships turn up. So I'm going to need another 400 ships on top of the 150 trucks. And obviously this is just a back a napkin estimate we've got going on here. So I don't think it's going to work, Chief. I think you're going to need to think that one through for once. But I want to use a train. It's going to be glamorous. Wouldn't you rather have another nice oil train? No, I wouldn't. I want this train. And therefore, I'm going to have it. This is a terrible idea. You're going to spend 3 million quid on a train that is going to run 3/4 empty most of the time. Just set some trucks up. Keep it cheap. Spend this on something else that makes some money. There we go. So after that brief internal dialogue there, I've decided that I won't set up the train here until we've set up a train line that is running up the side of the mountain. Yeah, I know. Who knows how my mind works? And so instead, we shall we shall stick this with some country roads. I will splash out on a good country road, though. Try and stop me. I've got 3 million quid burning a hole in my pocket. And we'll run this straight up there. You never know, this might even be beneficial later on if we decide to run the train line in parallel. Easy. Run the train line in parallel. There we go. Now, whatever change in elevation you had in mind there, sunshine, get it over and done with. Don't charge me 100 grand for the privilege of travelling a straight line. Where's a nice easy join up here? There we go, 13 and change. That'll do nicely. Right, okay, well, fair enough. It's less dramatic somehow, but we stick one of those down there. And actually, I don't really need to do anything else beyond this because everything else is already connected. Oh, no, it's not. No, you've still got to connect up the steel mill. All right, well, that makes things slightly more interesting. And aren't you close enough already? You are. Right, so this is going to be my my iron ore shuttle. Interlaken Halt to Interlaken West. Excellent. Iron ore. Int. Iron, yes. Ore, yes. Shuttle, I suppose. Right, so let's do the usual. Bang a couple of trucks on it. We'll stick with the Cannstatt. I reckon, what do we think? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should do the trick. Interlaken Iron Shuttle. There we are. Right. Let's get these chaps moving. Make sure we're sending some in each direction. And then we will move on to the next part of the puzzle. I love it. Right. Which way are they going to go? Left or right? Place your bets now. They're going right. You didn't place your bet in time. You turn around. And you turn around. No. Turn around. There we go. That should do the trick almost. Well, actually it's not because that's dead close. But that should kick things off. Now, when the ships turn up here in that way that they surely will to drop stuff off for the tool smithery here, they will also either be carrying steel or they'll pick up some iron ore to cart up the river. Now, the weak link we have here is that I don't want iron ore over here. I want my iron ore over here. So I'm going to need another port. Okay, fine. This is all viable. Don't make it sound like, you know, this is some dire straits. Oh my gosh, has he goofed with this setup? How far away are we looking there? Well, that looks like it's going to be closer than over here. But brace yourselves. We got a revelation coming up. I might still be able to do some train action. Or not, as the case may be. Yeah, so if we ever stopped round there, it would take less time if we stopped round this side of things. How's the bank look? The bank doesn't look too bad. So we should be able to get up there without it being a complete nightmare. Right, so we'll put our docks in there. What I was thinking there briefly, and I'm sure you can read my mind by now, was I could drop both the iron and the coal over at the dockside area here, and then run a tiny little shuttle train to take it up to the smeltery. Whereas instead, what we can do is we'll just run a truck route up here. That means less travel for the ships in question, which means it will turn around a little bit quicker. Now, I'll probably go to some lengths to redesign all of this a bit later on, because all of this is suggesting massive goods hub. This whole area is ripe for being turned into a massive goods hub, and that's before you consider that both Locarno and Bern are going to grow like demons over the course of time, given that they are, you know, healthily swapping cargoes and passengers. So they're going to be pretty sizable. Bellinzona's already on the grow as well. So this whole area is going to be absolutely huge. This will be where our frame rate drops to walking pace very, very quickly. Right, now, I need to, if we're going to make demand work, and the coal's already happening, excellent. How's the iron doing? Have we connected that yet? Not yet. So the iron's not yet in motion. But we are going to need to get another line going here. So we're going to go from here to there, except you can't do that. No, that's not allowed. Burn transfer, remove that. Yes, I want to remove the stations. Just wait there a minute. I need to put another truck stop in. There we go. 135. You must think I was born yesterday. How do you feel about that? 55. What do you feel about the other side of the road? 38. I liked the look of 38. Or 39, as the case may be. Right, you're back in business. There we are, Burn Central up to Burn North. Now that will be picking up whatever the heck it's picking up, iron ore eventually, and that will be turning that iron ore into steel, which I want it to take back out in the other direction. So this is going to be BRN iron steel. So the steel will come back in this direction as well. The steel will then get, I need to set up a shipping route here, but we've got to put some trucks in service first. You are a train depot, so you are no help to me here. You're also a train depot, so again, not today. Where are we? All right, we're gonna have to do this the old school fashion and plonk a depot right next to it. Right, buy road vehicles. How many do you want? I'm going to start with 3, which is overkill, given that this is going to be a while before it starts working. But I want to let the factory know that we are standing by to bring the wealth. I've done this in the wrong order. Should have got the ships going first, but it will pan out in time, and I can bankroll it until that point. Right, so we're going to go from Burn Transfer, which will be carrying both iron and steel. I say this out loud. It won't be carrying iron. It will just be carrying steel. The only thing to pick up there is steel. Yeah, I say this out loud to remind myself as much as anything. And then it drops it off back here, where that steel helps get turned into tools. And who knows? Who knows what happens? Does the ship here just pick up more iron? This is actually going to be a very efficient line once it's fully working, one would hope. So this is going to be steel shipping incorporated. Or incorporate. Okay, that's got a slightly Russian flavour to it. I'll take it. Okay, good. Now, put some ships on it. Speak to me of the Klondike. I thought it was passengers. It's not passengers. It's pretty quick, and it's not passengers. I think we'll do 2, which is overkill, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right, there we go. You chaps. Steel shipping incorporate. There we go. And you're definitely going to need a funky colour. Vehicles, colour scheme. What am I in the mood for? It could be brown. Bear with me. It might be tasteful. It's not untasteful, I suppose. These doors look nice. I suppose the doors change colour, do they? They do, as do the lifeboat colour. Hey, we're going to go with it. Yeah, nobody deliberately chooses brown, so I have done. There you go. And a toot of the horn by way of approval there. And that will do the trick, I'm hoping, very nicely. All right, smashing. Well, I mean, the other thing about the Klondike is it's also a little bit faster than the previous ship. You turn it around, go the other way. I want you going up the other end. That way we can tag both ends of this of this white elephant and make some hay with it. Here comes a tanker. What are you full of? Fuel 60. Perfect. Excellent. Right, this is all working in theory. Now, to wrap up for today, I can see what I'm looking for, and it's there. We have logs waiting. Now, there might only be 19 of them. What are you carrying? You're coming to pick some up, I hope. If you're not, I'm going to question where exactly you are going. Come on, pick them up. Where are you going? Or are you executing some kind of maneuver? Because it looks to me like you're just driving past. Yep, definitely just driving past. All right, where are you going? What? You trying to turn around up there? That doesn't seem right. Are you going all the way up to the other end first? Which also seems a bit strange. Where are you heading here? Heading up to Interlaken to drop off. Oh, okay. So you're on another part of the mission there. Can I convince you to move your stage? So instead of heading to Interlaken, which is down there, perhaps I can interest you in going... No, not Locarno. Thun. Yeah. That's where I want you. Go to Thun. They've got some logs for you, and we can finally get this line fully connected. Anyway, it's going to take a little while for that to happen, friends. We're not going to complete it today. You're going to be sat around waiting for ages, and I know how much you guys dislike having long videos. So we'll catch up on that next time around. Thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Why am I running these chaps on here? Because I like the variety. Anyway, look at all these logs. 160. Perfect. That's going to keep me in logs for a while. To the extent that I might even invest in a little cross-country route soonish. That'll speed things up a touch. Anyway, chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so, because things are heating up, and I still have a couple of million quid in the bank, so I don't have to hang around when you come back again. We'll build something else. How much have we spent on this nonsense? I guess 800 grand on construction. That feels like part of this project, doesn't it? 800, so maybe 1.8 on construction, and then another 1.4 on vehicles. 3 million quid. That feels about right. So be it. You don't make a profit without spending every single penny you've got. Oh, look at this. Oh, you're looking at your screenshot here. There you go. In fact, it looks like it's going to be a disaster. It is a disaster. What the hell is this Klondike pulling? Steady on there, skipper. I mean, I know you've got some pace, but there's no need to pick on the little fella. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Oh, there's a train, look. This is... he's drunk again. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.